That's right, folks. This is Hawking. This is Fanatics and the Fan, and I am here at Visioncon 2017 in Branson. Gotta love it. My favorite year ever because I got the Flash here. Mr. John Wesley Shipp, welcome to the show. Welcome to the town. Welcome to the con. Thank you so much for doing this.
You bet.
Are you having a good time?
Absolutely.
I know you do quite a few of these.
Yes,
so
I do. I do.
I like to think that we are special.
It's always good to get out and meet people, and the enthusiasm around both shows, actually. And I have some Dawson's Creekers in here, too. It's always great to get out and get that affirmation.
Have you had anybody recognize you from the soap opera days?
Guiding Light. I had someone with a Guiding Light book.
Oh!
Indeed. It's amazing. I sang You Needed Me to her. In her ear, very softly.
So real quick, how does one go from the soap opera world to a geekdom type of... I mean, because you were the original Flash.
I was. That's what they tell me. Yes. How do I go from the soap opera world? I started, my first professional gig was I did Showtime's first original movie. It was the Best of Off-Broadway series. It was called The Dirtiest Show in Town by Tom Ian.
I was going to ask you about that eventually. And couldn't figure out how to get it in.
And then I went from that to Kelly Nelson, Squeaky Clean Kelly Nelson on Guiding Light for 4 years.
Yes.
And it's just proceeded from there through Broadway, and then Never Ending Story 2 took me out to California, and then I was out there for the first Flash. It's just sort of snowballed.
So now, how does one go? I mean, when you get called to do first the father and then eventually Garrett, did you feel a little bit of nostalgia like coming back, like you guys couldn't have done this without me in the first one? If you hadn't done the first one, it would have been a little bit harder to sell the second.
It's a real privilege to be able to come back. I wanted to play Henry Allen as soon as I heard what Jeff Johns had done with the Allen family, because it's a layered, textured part.
Yes.
And I was honored to be a part of handing it off to Grant Gustin. And now the twist of me coming back and playing Jay Garrick, which is the character everyone wanted me to play to begin with, is kind of a fun twist.
Well, you look good. You're in amazing shape. So you're probably Jay Garrick is one of my favorite of all of the Flashes.
Yeah.
And so you play it well.
Thank you.
Although, funny story, when we were waiting on you to get here, none of us could eat till you got here, and I made the joke, what's taking so long? He's the Flash.
Yeah, right.
So how many Flash jokes do you have to contend with in the course of a day?
Oh, quite a few.
What's taking you so long? You're the Flash.
Exactly. But now that I'm Golden Age Flash, it's, I've slowed down a little.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because we've talked about this a couple times. You are loving this. This is, I mean, it's work, but it's, I mean, you've got fans that love you. You're playing in a kind of character.
Great. Yeah, it's a trip. Anytime that you connect, and whether people are talking to me about Kelly Nelson on Guiding Light, or Mitch Leary on Dawson's Creek, or any of the 4 characters I played in the Flash universe, when it touches them on some level. I just read something the other day, Thomas Friedman's book. He says what comes from the heart speaks to the heart.
Right.
And there's a lot of that going on at conventions. A lot of hard talk.
And I know you got to get back to work, so one last question.
Okay.
You've had the pleasure just recently and previously to work with Mark.
Yeah.
And so, did you ask him anything about what was going on with Star Wars when you were working with him?
No. The only thing we touched on was, because, they structure that into his contract, that it doesn't get out. But he was saying how unusual it is to come back to a project 25 years later and be able to hand it off. Not only hand it off to the next generation, but to make a contribution, a substantial contribution to the new effort.
And he's such an amazing trickster.
He's awesome. He's awesome at everything he does, and he's a good person. I'm so glad that I know the Hamill family.
So now, I personally know that most of your cast are singers. So when they bring in Darren to do that particular episode, will we be hearing Jay Garrick do a ballad or two?
No, I don't think so. They've got their hands full with that musical episode. Although I was an opera theater major and a voice performance major in the opera theater department at Indiana University.
I know that. That's why I asked the question.
But I won't be singing, not on this musical episode.
Well, we hope to see you sing soon.
Thank you.
And we hope to see more of you on The Flash. Folks, John Wesley Shipp, Hawk, Fanatics and Fan.